It's all love and none of stops and sunshine, lollipops and oh, and we'll always stop and we'll be friends forever. Meet Tommy and see sunshine, lollipops. Life is a big lollipop and sunshine and lollipops and bright lights and never stop when gosh, can't fight now. Sunshine, lollipops and rainbows, lolly sticks and chips and candy sticks and I'm with potato chips and I'll have some soda with it. Sunshine and lollipops and cheeseburgers never stop when hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 28 Years Later interview, a two-part series on the Tommy NC 2010 channel about him finding who his biological parents are. Today we're joined by the man himself, Mr. Tommy NC 2010. Lollipops and sunshine and rainbow tops and give a nice round of applause for the one and only Tommy NC.
Lollipops and sunshine, lollipops and rainbows and never stop when he sips his water.
What's up, Tommy NC 2010, man? If you've been hiding under a rock, you have not seen the two-part documentary on Tommy NC 2010's channel. Inspiring shit. I know a lot of people talk a lot of weird, different ways about Tommy. Some people back him 100%, in everything he does. Some people fucking talk a lot of shit about him and, can't stand him and hate on him and this and that. Today, I got to say, I'm going to be doing this interview with Tommy, and I want to keep it, as professional as we can, but I'm a little biased because I did watch the video, and I got to say, man, it probably is one of the, we'll get into a whole bunch of stuff, but it's probably one of the best videos I've seen on your channel for a long time, if not probably the best material you have put on your channel, to be honest.
Can I just say something?
We'll get all into that. We'll get into that. But I'm just trying to set it up here. And for those of you who don't know Tommy, if you haven't seen it yet, like I said, it's a two-part miniseries. Fucking go check it out on Tommy's channel. It's about him meeting his biological parents, how everything unwound, how everything turned out to be, how he traveled that road. The whole nine is there on 2 videos. And I got Tommy here today, and we're going to dive into it. Tommy, first of all, we got to start off with this. You were an infant when you were adopted, correct?
Yes, I was.
A brand new born new to the world baby boy. Now there are a lot of parts in this documentary that I gotta say I got choked up on. There was one part in particular where your father was explaining going to the lawyer's office with you, and the long drive that they had ahead of them, and how you were a very fussy baby, and he was having second thoughts after they adopted you, because you were only with them for 6 months, and it was very hard on him because you were like a finicky baby, and having a finicky baby is fucking not easy. So shout out to any mother and fathers out there that have finicky kids, man. It's not easy to deal with them. But anyway, they would go to put like clothing on you and shit, and you would just lose your shit and flip the fuck out. And then all of a sudden that one day you changed, and it was like your adoptive father. Yeah, it was like he was at his end of his chain, where he was gonna hit the road where he was like, oh man, I give up, but he didn't, and all of a sudden, boom, when he needed it the most, you made a change and you became this unfinicky baby and just went with the flow and just became a good kid, a good baby. So there was a lot of moments in there, like when you met your grandmother. There's so many great moments, and I want to refer back to them a lot because I want people who watch this to understand that if they didn't see the 2 episodes, please go check it out. I mean, even if you pause this now and you go over to Tommy's channel and you check it out and come back to this, but Tommy, the way that this all happened was with Mr. James Worley did it, right?
Yes.
Why don't you explain to us a little bit about how that unfolded?
So, what made this whole thing start out was my father's mother passed away a while back ago, and my father is adopted also. He's a good man, and he was adopted by another man, but he really kind of didn't know his actual father, and that kind of struck a chord with me, and I decided that I wanted to find my biological mother, and I started talking with my parents, but they weren't out at that time. My mom was just like, yeah, you could try that, Tommy, but I don't know how far you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And I talked to James Worley, and he's like,
James Worley did it, huh? Yeah, he really did do it this time.
He's like, Tommy, you should make a video on YouTube. I said, no, James, I can't do that on YouTube because too many people are going to ransack me and make me I'm going to get attacked by trolls. I can't do that on YouTube. And because, I've been attacked so many times. But, so I made the video on Facebook, the live stream, and James shared it on his page. And, I guess 28 years went by. And, because the reason why the documentary is 28 years later is because I am 28 years old and I am just now coming to me.
Yeah, I mean, come on, no shit. I know. What else would be 28 years? I like how you have two birth certificates, and your biological father, actually said to you when you went and met him, he said, if you want your original birth certificate, I'll give that to you, and it has your actual name that they named you first before you were named Tommy.
And if you hear the documentary, I say, if I ever have a kid,
I'm gonna name him Nathan.
I'm gonna name him that.
Nathan, correct?
Yes, Nathan.
So that would have been your real name, Nathan.
If I hadn't been adopted, yes.
Yeah. Wow, man. So we would have been saying Nathan NC 2010.
Well, who knows if I hadn't been adopted, if I would actually fall in love with YouTube, if I would have fallen in love with the filmmaking.
I got news for you. I think your heart and who you are follows the road that you're gonna follow, no matter who brings you up or not. If you have enough power and enough, mindset to do something. Like, look at you. Like, for instance, and I'm not trying to dog on you here, but look at you, a guy like you who you do a blog, you do a vlog, whatever you call it. You get all this footages together, right? And you always get somebody to edit that for you, somebody to do a masterful job for what you're doing and what your vision was. As far as, take a look at case in point, the documentary we're here to talk about today. It just goes to show you, like, you're a man of resources, because here it is. I know Hamza was joking around about it in the video, and he said, "Oh, please help me. I'm in here editing fucking 24/7 for this guy, for this documentary." And you're very lucky that you find these people that are helping you edit your stuff together. Because let's be honest. What you really do is you just stand in front of the camera and live your life. The rest of the people are the ones who are putting together the music, the editing, the whole core of what goes on. Correct. Right?
Yes. Hamza, like I would say, is the I'm just the director. Hamza's kind of like the painter. I just tell him what to paint. There was many of times that I just sat there next to Hamza and I say, I want that song. I want this cut this certain way. And
man, I wish I had somebody that I could fucking say that to, man. You're very lucky, man. Very lucky, dude.
There was a few hours that, there was some moments where when you work close with somebody like that, your patience get worn. And
yeah, but let me tell you something. I seen you get like very impatient with Hamza before, but you got to remember that dude's there out of the kindness of his heart, man. He's not there for money. He's not there for clout. He's not there to make his YouTube channel grow, because he doesn't even pay attention to his own YouTube channel.
I would love to see his YouTube channel grow.
Well, he doesn't care about that. That goes to show you that he's a guy who's a friend first and a YouTuber second. or third or fourth. You know what I mean?
And I have given him ideas. I have actually said to him,
it doesn't matter to
I
him.
sat
That
down
shit
with
doesn't
him.
matter to him. See, Tommy, that's what I'm trying to tell you. This shit should not matter this much. You know, to some people it matters too much. Too much. But anyway, I want to stay on focus here.
Sorry.
All right, so you made plans. You met at the Sizzler. For those of you who didn't watch the videos, he met up with his biological parents at Sizzler. He showed up there with his adoptive parents. Oh, Golden Corral, the Sizzler, Golden Corral, same shit. They showed up there, and he actually met his grandmother that night, his mother, his father, his brother, his two sisters, his two half sisters, right?
One half sister.
There was two girls there. I think you always get this confused, bro. Me and you had this conversation before, and I think you always get it confused.
I have two little brothers, and I have one half sister. That's from my father's side.
All right. Then who was the other girl that was there in the video?
I can't remember who the other girl was.
Oh my god.
Oh no, the other girl was my father's girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Wow, kind of young, huh?
Biological.
Wow, biological young, huh? Damn, father's robbing the cradle, huh? Wow. You think father likes
I don't
son
know. I don't
eventually?
know her age.
16. But you think that
No,
no, I'm
no.
just kidding. I'm kidding. So Tommy, you met up. You how frequently do you talk with your father now?
Very oftenly. Just whenever I get a chance, I call him up. We have a conversation. We will talk.
How much did you talk to them? How much did you talk to your father after the second video that we saw, or the ending that we saw there on the second video?
Oftenly, he was very impressed. He said he shed a tear. He was shedding tears just by watching the production of the documentary, and he said he was so impressed, and that he was, even at his job, and he was showing his friends the documentary, and they were so happy.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
And with my biological mother, she's just like me. She wears her emotions on her shoulder.
Man, can I tell you, me and my wife Shannon are sitting there watching your mom, your biological mother talking, and we're like, wow, Tommy, you look a lot like her, dude. And you do look like your father as well. You definitely have your father's looks as well. And the cool thing is we found out that your grandfather was actually a fable teller. Like, he used to tell old fables and actually got paid for telling stories in the public before, like, radio and TV and all that was around. A lot of people would walk around and, like, tell stories. Like, really good storytellers would actually be paid by people to tell stories, and they would add in, like, a commercial, which was back then, like, would be a commercial. They would tell you, don't forget to grab a Hershey's bar, kid. Like, and that would be like what they would do back then. It was like early media. And Tommy found out that his grandfather is one of those guys that actually was a professional storyteller. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. This guy's grandfather was a professional storyteller.
Toaster, like he
was a toaster, but I looked it up and I read up about it. A toaster is a guy, he does get up in public and he makes certain speeches and shit like that, but the way that your father explained it was that he was a storyteller more than anything, and he was very, very good at telling stories. So I just found that really cool because, here you are, you didn't even know the guy, and they say that you might skip a generation. It goes to the grandson, and sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, it skips generations. So your father might not even be like that, but you might be like his father, which is really cool. Because I just thought it was a twist. You didn't know that about, that you had a grandfather that was a professional toaster.
I wish I could have met him. He passed away before I could ever meet.
Oh, maybe we can go dig him up or something. We want to go dig him up.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, I'm just saying. No, come on. What would have helped you? No. But yeah, so, I mean, it was very touching, a lot of that. Now, and I also saw on the video, and I wanted to bring up, when you went to your Taj.0 viewing, your half-brother from far away traveled all the way the fuck in to be with you that night, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name again?
Randy.
That was very nice of Randy, Tommy's half brother. I mean, now, with Tommy and this move that he made, you went from having this, small, tight family that you loved, and your grandparents were all gone, and, it was moving on. Your parents are getting older. You're moving on with your life. You moved in your own place. You're doing your own thing. And then, bang, all of a sudden now, your family expands to fucking not just one adoptive brother, but 2, 3 siblings, and a grandmother, and 4 moms and dads. Like it's just crazy. You have a big family around you now, which is really cool. And you're
telling me in my mind, it's hard for me to fathom that my family tree was this tiny little tree, this little itty bitty tree with everybody's names on it, and then all of a sudden it was just like kaboosh.
And you want to know the cool thing? The cool thing is your biological mother, from what I could tell, is a really cool woman, and she's very kind. And your mom and your dad, your adoptive parents, I think are accepted into your mom's family, and you really bridged all of these people who, because let's face it, your mom really wasn't with your father. Your real parents weren't with each other. It was the way that they explained it was that you were kind of just, a happen fault, it stumbled upon, and bang, she was pregnant, your mom. And, your father was there for her, and he was going to do the right thing and be there for the pregnancy and be there to help out and blah, 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 and take care of his responsibilities. He didn't run, like a lot of fathers do nowadays. He stayed there to support and stay positive, and, he stayed there to support, stay positive, and subscribe to the channel, you know what I mean? And he stuck around. And why you have to make that face, bro? Go on. It's just, he stayed there to support and stay positive, dude, and to support to the channel. But, he stayed there with your mom, and they weren't together, right or wrong. They weren't together. And he stayed there to do the right thing. And, she ultimately decided, and we heard her talking about it in the documentary, about how she decided to put you up for adoption, and how hard of a decision it was for her. And the touching parts of me were when your biological mother looked at your adoptive mother and father and said, "Thank you for what you guys did, raising him up to be such a good kid." We know he was dropped on his head a couple times and shit when he was a baby, but besides that, he's a good fucking kid, and we love him. And you made them proud. That was a good thing. You made them proud.
I try my best.
And I just love how at the end of the video you have to get everybody together and say your fucking catchphrase, like, Tommy, god damn, man, the world does not revolve around fucking YouTube. Jesus.
I asked everybody, would everybody like to do this to end off the documentary? They said, yes, Tommy, we would love to do that.
God, get them to do the fucking Harlem Shake or something, for Christ's sake. They got to say the coin phrase. Come on, Tommy, you sick bastard. Keeping you on the end. Your grandmother looked like she had no clue what the fuck was going on. She's like, what the fuck are they saying? I was dying when I saw that. Keeping you on the inside fact. Support. Stay. You're trying to tell them, stay positive. They're like, they didn't know. But it was cute. And I really think that it's cool. You got brothers, sisters now. And what was the coolest part of this whole thing for you? Was it connecting with your mother? Was it connecting with your father? Was it all of it? Was it knowing now that you have this big, huge family? I mean, there's so many positives.
Everything.
What are some of the positives that came out of this for you so far?
It's just having a person.
Listen, give me some of the positives right now. And also, at the end of your positives, if there are any negatives, let me hear those too, if there is any. Go ahead.
I wouldn't say there's, just to answer your question, there's no negatives. Everything's positive
all right,
in this
so
situation.
Tell me some of the positives that's come out of this so far for you. I'm going to shut up and listen to you. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
I mean,
your heart and your mind.
Everything about this whole entire situation. I mean, I'm going to pull my hand grenade and I'm going to throw it at your feet, and I'm just going to say that everything is positive. There was no negatives. I'm just, in my heart,
well, I mean, your mother,
I am so...
Your adoptive mother feels like just fucking throwing herself off a bridge now. So, I mean, that is a negative. But besides that, No, I'm just fucking around. You look at your face, you're like, what? No, but I did feel bad a little bit for your mom. Like, she seemed a little somber about it. You know what I mean? In the
And
video
like
too, she came
if you notice,
across.
one of the questions I asked her,
Do you think
one
she
of the
came
questions,
across like that in the video a little bit, maybe?
what?
Your mom's a sweet woman, your adoptive mother. She seems like a really, I mean, even seeing those videos with you as a baby, and shout out to Joe for taking those clips and doing what he had to do with them for you, right?
Yes.
But it seemed like when your mom was really patient with you, your adoptive mother, and she really took the time to, you know, maybe that's the whole story that your father explained about you all of a sudden not being a finicky baby no more. Maybe that had a lot to do with your your adoptive mother, because it seemed like she took the time to do the right thing by you and to teach you and to nurture you. And she did that a lot, right, with you when you were a kid in school and all
Yes,
that.
she did a lot.
Well, see, there you
Even
go. I think that, it wasn't just a miracle. And I think your father has to give your mom credit for that, because I think it was really your mom who made you not a finicky baby no more and actually made you who you are today, which is a successful man. I mean, any way you want to cut it, you're out there, you have a job, you have your own place to live. You don't live under your parents' roof no more. You use your video camera as a mirror, which I love. You're doing your own thing, and you're out on your own, and nobody could say shit to you about it. You're a grown ass fucking man, and your parents raised you the right way. And Toki, your mom, has a lot to be, proud of you in. And like I said, all right. So give me some of the positives here. What was the best relationship that came out of this? Is it with your dad, your mom, or is it just in general? Go ahead.
everything in general. Just uh, there's just so much like that I have here. It just, my heart is just like a ticking time bomb, and it's exploding. And I'm just so happy to have everything I have now. And I'm so grateful to just be where I am, and just to have such supportive parents and biological parents. And and I just want to say, if anybody thinks that I'm an asshole for saying to my parents, my biological parents, I'm not going to call them mom or dad, that's just how I feel. Because my parents that raised me from a baby, they have that right to be called that, mom and dad. I don't want to hurt them. So, I, at the same time, I love my biological
All
parents.
right. So Tommy, we need to touch on this then. All right, because you did take some flack, right, from some people saying that you shouldn't have said that to them. Because why else would you mention that?
Who said this? Who
I
said?
mean, why
who
else?
said-
Why else would you mention that?
I mean, I just want to. I mean, I haven't got any flack, but I just
Okay.
want to be like,
So then, do you think are you thinking yourself like you did it pretty shitty? Because
no.
why? I
I
mean,
just think generally, possibly people could look at that, and I'm just like, I want people thinking I'm an asshole because I'm not. It was the way I was handling it. It's, people have a different way of saying things, and I say things the way I say things, and I just generally didn't want to give their hopes up. Because people have the hopes of something, of people saying something.
but how did you come to the conclusion? Like, wouldn't you think to yourself, like, hey man, let me ask these people, let me feel them out before I go and I say something like this to them, because maybe they don't want me to call them mom and dad. Maybe they don't want that. Maybe they want the respect to stay with the adoptive parents, and to respect that mother, father, son thing. And it's kind of like you jumped right into it. And you're like, oh, listen, I'm not going to call you mom and dad. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you could have handled it a little differently. But I did understand where you were coming from. You want to give that respect to your mom and your dad, your adoptive parents, that, hey, what we shared and what you did for me will never, ever be taken away. It'll always be appreciated. And I will always pay homage to you guys by calling you mom and dad, and no one else on this earth. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how I am with my father. Like, for instance, my father-in-law, at one point when I first got married to my wife, asked me, how come I don't call him Dad? And because my other brother-in-law used to call him Dad. And I was like, listen, no offense to you, but there's only one man on this earth that I will ever call Dad, and that's my father. I'm like, I'll call you anything else you want, but I just can't do that because there's only one dad for me, So I get what you're saying. I'm very loyal to my parents like that as well. But I think it was just the way you did it that it might rub some people the wrong way. But you said you didn't hear any bad fucking feedback from it. So, why worry about something that might not even be a problem?
That's just how I am. I look into, I overthink things sometimes, and that's how I do things in my autistic brain.
A lot of humans are like that, man. It's not even an autistic thing, dude, honestly. It's a human thing. A lot of us do that,
I find myself sometimes talking to myself and answering questions to myself, and
Yeah, Tommy, a lot of people do that, dude. You're not the only one. Do you know that?
No, I did not know that. Because sometimes I'll just be like...
Yes, dude, a lot of people that don't have autism or they're not on the spectrum at all do the same shit. They have long conversations with themselves, man. I like to think I'm talking to God or Jesus because I'm a religious person. But, I'm really talking to myself. You know what I mean?
God is the reason why I check my messenger.
What?
God spoke to me, and even some people in this community would bash me and say that God's not real. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Savior, and God spoke to me. He spoke to me on 2 occasions. Once was to help me find my camera, and this case. What?
Once was to help you find your camera, and the second time was to beat Leafy. Let me guess.
No, the second time was to read the message from my biological mother, and I can tell you I heard check.
Oh, you thought money, huh? You were thinking money?
Not money, but I was hearing no, check. Like, check it out. Check. And I did. I opened my messenger. I saw unanswered message. I clicked it, and I pressed Rose, and she read it out.
But don't you think you would have seen that the next morning anyway?
Sometimes I don't always check my unanswered messages, but that night I was watching Raw with my friend, and I heard check. And I went and clicked on the message and played it out.
Wow. So sometimes it's meant to be, man.
Yes, it is.
Sometimes it's meant to be.
One of the questions one of the questions I asked her, which she answered very perfectly. I never expected any other answer from her. After 28 years, that day could have never happened. I asked her, why did you torture yourself thinking about me and knowing that you possibly would have never seen me? Like, why did you do that to yourself? And she said to me that I am a part of her and that she couldn't let me go in her mind.
Wow.
That's just, and I love that answer. She's such an amazing person, and she gave such an amazing answer. And I just, my biological father is just like me, and his personality, the way he handles things, and he's just, them both are just such amazing people.
Yeah, they seem like they are, man. So,
Yes.
So have you spoken to your siblings at all?
Yes, I have. I've spoken to a few of my siblings, and they love the documentary, and they loved it. They're actually subscribed to my channel.
Oh, nice. They subscribe to the channel?
Yeah, they have subscribed to the channel.
Very nice. We're gonna bring somebody else in here who wants to ask a couple of questions about the the two-part series on Tommy NC 2010 channel. It's his story about him meeting his biological parents, man, and it's a touching story. We bring Blake in here. Blake, what's up, man?
Kid, how's it going, man? Happy
The
birthday
old
to you,
Blakester.
bud.
Thank you. Thank you, Blake. Tommy, you know Blake, right? Blake, Tommy?
I remember Blake.
Yeah, I had a little chit chat with him when I was at the Royal Rumble in Arizona. Just let him know, hey, you know, I'm here. So, yeah, we had a good time.
So what's up, man?
Nothing. So, yeah, Tommy, I saw the documentary, and yeah, it was quite interesting. The only question I had was, what, you know, other than the Golden Corral, was there, like, any other place you wanted to go with your family, or was that like the only choice you wanted to go to?
That was basically where we just picked our meeting up place, that, you know, just to meet. And after that, after we met, we kind of left, parted ways, but I still talk to them, you know, on a regular basis.
Oh, that's cool. And who flipped the bill that day? Who flipped the bill that day?
Why do you want to know that?
Yeah, why not?
Well, it's part of the story.
Nice little tidbit.
I guessing we went Dutch. You know, my parents paid for their bill, and my biological parents paid for their bill.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And as far as like when was the last time you talked to your biological parents?
I just asked him that. Yeah, I asked him that. He's got a good relationship going with both of them. Speaks to his biological father frequently. So it's a good thing, man. It's been nothing but positive things for him, which is good. Thank you for muting that, Tommy. I really appreciate it, man. You coughed a couple of times today, and it blew out my fucking eardrum. What are you just getting? Like, what do you got? Some allergies going on and shit?
Yeah, allergies.
Yeah, that's going around right now. I'll tell you that. Yeah. But yeah, so I there was a couple of parts on there that really were touching parts, man. You know, the grandmother part, I loved. Blake, what did you have a favorite part?
Yeah, when he shaved his mustache.
What do you mean? He had a mustache for that?
Not for the dinner.
You didn't have a mustache for the dinner, Tommy?
Oh.
Tommy?
Yes.
You shaved your mustache for that whole thing?
Yeah, you didn't notice that?
Clean
Holy
shaven.
shit, I didn't even realize it, man.
I was clean shaven.
What made you
during
do
them.
that? What made you do that? You just wanted to be clean shaven?
I wanted
So his mommy
to-
could get a bill.
Last time she saw me, I was clean shaven. I was born.
Yeah, you're
I
a
was,
baby. Yeah.
So I wanted to come meet her for the first time without my mustache on.
You had a bush last time she saw you.
I mean, you look pretty good, Tommy. I mean, did you get a new barber?
Yeah, he did. You did, right? Tommy? I mean, that's not a fucked up
I'm not
question.
offending
That's
you. I'm
not a
asking if you
weird
got a new
question to
barber,
ask,
Tommy.
bro. We know.
No, I used the same barber. It's his brother and his father.
Nice.
Okay.
Keeping it in the
They
family.
have their own little business in Black Mountain.
Oh, so
Keep with
the
keep with
whole
family.
family worked there?
Yes, the
Oh,
whole
that's pretty
family.
cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nice, man. All right, Blake, you got
Now-
anything else you want to ask him?
Yeah, so just moving towards New York. You're going there at the end of the month, right, Tommy? Jesus Christ, you done?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, cool. So you're going to see 9/11. You're going to see the Times Square. I think the only place I regret not taking Ken and Himmelfarb was, what was it, the train station, Ken? What was it Union Station? Is that what it's called?
Penn Station.
Penn Station. No, not Penn Station, the bigger one. Where they film all those movies, like the Avengers. They filmed a couple other movies there.
Yeah, that's you're talking about
The bigger one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know, most of the Avengers movies were actually shot in Atlanta.
Correct, Tommy. That is
Yeah.
correct.
He's just saying where they were in the movie.
That is correct.
Yeah, but anyway,
That's Chris probably showing his face to you.
housekeeping. All right, Blake, anything else?
That's pretty much it. You know, documentary. I give it a out of 10. I give it a good 7.
Nice.
I guess 7.5.
I said it's been. I said that it's the best content I've seen on his channel in a long time. Like really good content. It was good to watch. It was heartfelt. It was emotional. It had all the elements. So if I had to rate it from 0 to 10, I'd probably give it about. I'd give it about an 8.
Okay, I get 7 leafies out of 10.
Well, the leafy shit was a 10, man. That was some cloutness. All right,
I mean, he was trying to kill himself, so I was like, okay, gotta
Give me
cry
those
about the
eggs.
Video, and I give that one a 9 out of 10. So I believe.
When
Tommy
did I
Moore
ever
on
say in that video I was gonna kill myself?
Well, something about that video.
yeah, no, I don't think he ever said he was gonna kill himself.
I
They're
never
gonna
said
kill
that
me
once.
and goodbye, and I wish all that stuff. It was a good video, but I give more of that rating because that's more Tommy than anything else.
All right, Blake. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, boobies.
That was the great Blake 619. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I don't think you ever said you were gonna kill yourself. I don't think I've ever heard you. Well, I mean, I've heard you say some crazy shit in the last 12 months, but has meeting your biological parents eased up some of the? I mean, because listen, you've been on my show a lot. You've been on Joe's show a lot. You've been on a lot of shows, and you've been very short on the leash as of late in the last couple of months. Do you think that has anything to do with what's been going on with you meeting your biological parents and all that shit? Maybe you're a little extra stressed out. Because when I first started having you on the shows and stuff, it would take a lot for you to bug out, man. And lately you've been on a very short leash. Do you think it has anything to do with meeting your parents and the pressure and all that shit?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so why do you think it is then that's happening?
I think it's just. I think the shit fuse has just been wearing thin.
All right, but you do realize that sometimes now, most of the time now, when you flip out, you're wrong. As opposed to when you used to flip out once in a while, you were right, because it was people were saying, damn, I mean, how much could he stand? But now you kind of flip out for no reason. So I hope you're watching it now, man. At least meeting your parents and stuff, you turn over a leaf in certain... You turn over a leafy in certain situations, and you approach different situations differently. Do you do that now? Have you grown from this experience?
Yes, I have.
Yeah? You've grown from this experience, you think, already?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah? And I heard you say that if you ever have a kid, you're going to name it the name that they wanted to give you.
Yeah.
Which is Nathan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you said something like, oh, I doubt I'll have my own kid and stuff. You don't know that, man. There's somebody out there for everybody, bro. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that? Because you just said to me a little while ago that you believe in Jesus and you believe in God, right?
Yes.
Then if you do, then you have to know that there's somebody out there for everybody. I mean, I've known some of the most weirdest people that you never thought in a million years would have somebody compatible for them out there. But yet, boom, like magic, they find that person. If you search for a Tommy and you look for it and you actually put yourself out there, and if I were you, man, you're such a young guy, 28 years, man, right? 28 years, I'd be going to the bars, I'd be going to the clubs, hanging out with my friends, instead of sitting in my room smelling my own farts. You know what I mean?
I don't smell my own farts.
Well, what the fuck were you just doing then?
What do you mean?
What were you just doing? How am I getting a fucking...
I often wondered if King was Cain. And Cain was... Oh, shit! Oh, it's always on my mind. Oh, I want to fuck me up some cops. They caught me. King, it's Cain. King, it's Cain. It's Cain. Terrible bull.
I would like to pay my respect and condolences to Tommy and Debbie's love child, who tragically died.
Tommy,
Yes, what's up?
anything else to say before we wrap this up? Like, any predictions for the future? Anything? Where are you gonna spend Christmases with anybody? You gonna like any new traditions gonna start out of this? Anything?
Probably I'll mostly be with my parents here in North Carolina, but if they come up here, I'll probably hang out with them and stuff like that. But probably mostly will be with my parents, and when I get the money or the chance, I'll probably fly down to Florida and then see her or him, both my biological parents. So I'll just
Nice.
see where the road takes me.
We'll see what happens, man. You got nothing but a bright future with them, and they're both alive and they're both healthy and they're here, and who knows what the future holds for Tommy NC 2010, right?
Yep.
I do know one thing about the future. I know that you're going to be coming to New York very soon. Yes. Are you looking forward to that, Tommy?
Oh, very much.
Yeah, it should be good, man. The great Tommy NC, folks. A video, a two-part video documentary that he's clout chasing on, folks. And no, I'm just kidding. He's not clout chasing. It's all pure. Like, if you didn't see this yet, if you're a critic of Tommy's and you didn't see this video yet, go check out this video. Because if you watch this video and you sincerely sit there and watch this video for what it's worth, you'll see that Tommy really did pour out his emotions and how he felt. And his parents, his adoptive parents, his real life parents, his mother Toki, who I know personally, these are good fucking people. These are good people. There's no question about it. I know good people when I see them. Tommy's a very lucky guy. He's got a big, big family now. He doubled up the size of his family, and he deserves it because he loves his family, this guy. You know what I mean? He's a loyal person, and he believes in family first. Right or wrong, Tommy? Don't you believe in family first and all that stuff? So don't ever think that there's nobody out there for you, Tommy, because there's somebody out there for everybody, man. Remember that. And anyone else out there, too, that feels that way. Listen, I'm a very big critic of Tommy NC, and I'm his friend. Okay, I've said some horrible things to him. He said some horrible things to me. We've gotten into fights on air. We've said bad shit to each other. But honestly, that video that I saw, that I sat back and watched with my wife, it really, really was something that hit home. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Give him some love. Give him a like. Say something nice in the comments to him. Pass the word around. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Stay positive for him. And maybe he'll stay positive for us on the shows that he comes on. And come on, Tommy's a good guy. Show him some love. You all voted him in as a champion. He never thought that he'd be the monetized this champion, but he did it. This guy's overcome a lot of things in his life that nobody thought he'd do. So, cheers to you, brother. It's a great documentary your friends put together for you there. And you should always give them thanks, the people who worked on this documentary. Why don't you come and say the people who worked on this documentary with you real quick?
The people that worked on me was Hamza, Joe Cronin, and also James Worley. He didn't work on the documentary with us, but he had his hands in the layers of putting this documentary to make it happen, and he was the main reason why my biological mother's friend found the video, because he posted that big long post and with the video also.
And don't forget your boy Big Dog over here, because the minute you got that text message from Toki, you called me up before anybody else and you said, Ken, should I trust this? And I said to you, Tommy, somebody wouldn't go to that extent to tell you all those things about you when you were a baby, like to the priest who helped your family out, to the hospital, to all these questions that were answered. And I said, you said, do you think it's a fake? You think it's somebody fucking with me? And I said, no, dude, that's your mom. And it was. It turned out to be your mom. You didn't even know yet at that point. You were questioning it, right?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, you were afraid that it was a bullshit, right? But it turned out to be a great moment, man. So congratulations, Tommy. Guys, go check it out if you haven't seen the video yet. 2-part miniseries. It's the last 2 videos on Tommy's channel right now. Go check them out, part 1 and part 2 of the documentary 28 years later and 4 assholes, because he blew out 3 of them. No, I'm just kidding. 28 years and 4 assholes later, I'm still alive. The great Tommy NC 2010, folks. I'm getting him laid next month. Peace. We love you, Tommy.